Hey everyone, and welcome to the Explainer. Today we're going to dive into a super critical part of any construction project that honestly happens almost entirely behind the scenes. This is the stuff that happens after that big contract is signed, but way before the first shovel ever hits the dirt. We're talking about the art and science of the buyout.
Okay, so let's get right into it. Just picture this for a second. The architect's plans are done. The general contractor is officially hired, the budget's approved, the project is a go. But who's actually going to pour the concrete? Who's going to put up the steel? How does a stack of blueprints turn into a real, living, breathing team of specialized experts? Well, that is the big question we're going to answer today.
And the answer to that question? It all comes down to a process called the buyout. This is that pre-construction phase where all the key players, the real hands-on builders, are officially brought on to the project. You could say it's less about hard hats and a lot more about handshakes and contracts. So what is it exactly? Well, the buyout is when a general contractor takes all the different pieces of the job, we're talking electrical, plumbing, HVAC, materials, you name it, and they officially award that work to their subcontractors and suppliers. This is where they hammer out all the final negotiations and sign the paperwork that legally creates the project team. And you gotta understand, this step is absolutely crucial. A good buyout doesn't just put a team together, it locks in the final project costs and pretty much lays the entire foundation for whether the project is going to succeed or, well, fail. Getting the agreements right at this stage prevents massive headaches and conflicts down the road. It's really all about setting the project up to win from the very beginning. All right, so let's get to the real heart of the buyout. Negotiation. And this isn't just about haggling over the lowest price. No, this is a high-stakes game of building relationships, managing risk, and establishing trust that has to last for the entire project.
And this quote, man, it just nails the core idea here. The goal isn't just to win one negotiation on one project. It's to build a network of reliable, trustworthy partners you can work with for years to come. And that only happens through ethical conduct. In this game, trust is the most valuable currency you have.
Okay, so I want you to imagine this. Let's put you in the driver's seat. You've got 3 bids for, say, the steelwork. They're all from companies you know are qualified, and the prices are all pretty close. So what do? What's the next move? How do you make that final call in a way that's fair, but also gets your project the absolute best value? Well, this is where a huge ethical line can get crossed. There's this tempting but ultimately destructive practice known in the industry as bid shopping. Just so we're crystal clear, bid shopping is when a contractor takes a bid from one subcontractor and uses that confidential price to pressure another subcontractor to go even lower. You're basically taking one company's hard work and using it as leverage against another to kick off a bidding war after all the official bids are already in. It's a really bad look. Here's exactly how it usually plays out. You get your bids. Subcontractor A is the lowest, but instead of just giving them the job, you pick up the phone and call subcontractor B, maybe someone you'd rather work with, and you say something like, hey, sub A came in at this price. If you can beat it, the job is yours. It feels like a savvy business move in the moment, but trust me, it's a trap. Because the fallout from that one savvy phone call is enormous. You instantly damage your reputation, and word gets around fast in this industry. So the next time you need bids, subcontractors might jack up their prices, knowing you're just going to shop them around anyway. Or they'll wait until the very last second to submit their bid, which just creates chaos. Ultimately, it shatters the one thing you can't build without: trust. So, okay, if bid shopping is obviously the wrong way to go, what's the right way? Let's take a look at how to handle these negotiations in a way that's both smart and fair. A way that actually builds value instead of destroying it. I mean, the difference here is just night and day, right? On one side, you're literally giving away a competitor's confidential price. It's unethical. On the other, you're simply and professionally stating, we're in negotiations with several qualified firms. You don't share anyone's numbers. This encourages each company to put their best foot forward on their own terms, and it fosters respect and actual fair competition. So, how do you negotiate ethically and still find savings? Well, believe it or not, it can often come down to a very simple but very powerful number: 2%. This is a classic win-win situation. A lot of suppliers will offer something called a 2 net 10 discount. All it means is that if you pay their invoice within 10 days instead of the usual 30, you get a 2% discount. You save money, and your supplier gets their cash faster, which helps them out a ton. It's a negotiation tactic that builds goodwill, not resentment. And you gotta remember, a great buyout negotiation is about so much more than just the bottom line price. It's about clarifying all the other details. Who's on the hook for shipping costs? Are critical things like shop drawings included? How are you going to handle it if material prices suddenly spike? And maybe most importantly, can they actually deliver on schedule? A strong agreement covers all of these points. Okay, so you've shaken hands, you've made the deal. Now what? You have to make it official, get it down on paper. But here's the thing. Not all agreements are created equal, and choosing the right type of contract is absolutely key. Look, the easiest way to think about this comes down to one simple question. Is there on-site labor involved? If your partner is physically performing work on the job site, like, erecting steel or installing drywall, you need a detailed subcontract. If you're just buying materials or goods from them, a much simpler purchase order will usually do the trick. And really, this is the ultimate goal of the entire buyout process. Every negotiation, every decision you make, it all leads to this, creating clear, well-written agreements. Because having that clarity up front is the single best tool you have for preventing costly, painful misunderstandings and conflicts once the building actually starts. So as we wrap this up, that leaves us with the central question, doesn't it? In the high-stakes world of construction, what truly builds more value? A one-time discount that you got through a shady shortcut, or a foundation of trust that's built to last for the long term? It's a choice that really defines not just a single project, but your entire reputation.